But I think more important than that, people want to give their all in becoming a better neurosurgeon because the stakes are so high. And so it's a real fight to get residents to say go home at the end of their shift and not stay and do more surgery.
Are you seriously saying like one of the hardest things is literally like forcing them to get sleep and rest and all this kind of stuff?
Historically, that was the case. I
Hilarious.
think
And
the
that's
next
awesome.
generation, I think the next generation is more compliant and more
Weaker is
self-caring.
what you mean. All right, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I didn't say it.
Now I'm making enemies. No, okay, I get it. Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
So what was the second thing?
The personalities, and maybe the two are connected, but
So was it pretty competitive?
it's competitive, and it's also, as we touched on earlier, primates like power, and I think neurosurgery has long had this aura of mystique and excellence and whatever about it, and so it's an invitation, I think, for people that are cloaked in that authority. A board certified neurosurgeon is basically a walking fallacious appeal to authority, right? You have license to walk into any room and act like you're, an expert on whatever. And fighting that tendency is not something that most neurosurgeons do well. Humility isn't the forte.
Yeah, I have friends who know you, and whenever they speak about you, that yours have the surprising quality for a neurosurgeon of humility, which I think indicates that it's not as common as perhaps in other professions, because there is a kind of gigantic sort of heroic aspect to neurosurgery, and I think it gets to people's head a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that that allows me to play well at an Elon company.
Yes.
Because Elon, one of his strengths, I think, is to just instantly see through fallacy from authority.
Yeah.
So nobody walks into a room that he's in and says, well, God damn it, you have to trust me. I'm the guy that built the last, 10 rockets or something. And he says, well, you did it wrong and we can do it better. Or I'm the guy that, kept Ford alive for the last 50 years. You listen to me on how to build cars. And he says, no. And so you don't walk into a room that he's in and say, well, I'm a neurosurgeon. Let me tell you how to do it. He's going to say, well, I'm a human being that has a brain. I can think from first principles myself. Thank you very much. And here's how I think it ought to be done. Let's go try it and see who's right. And that's, proven, I think, over and over in his case to be a very powerful approach.
If we just take that tangent, there's a fascinating interdisciplinary team at Neuralink that you get to interact with, including Elon. What do you think is the secret to a successful team? What have you learned from just getting to observe these folks?
Yeah.
World experts in different disciplines work together.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot where people disagree and forcefully speak their mind and passionately defend their position, and yet are still able to accept information from others and change their ideas when they're wrong. And so I like the analogy of sort of how you polish rocks. You put hard things in a hard container and spin it. People bash against each other, and out comes a more refined product. And so to make a good team at Neuralink, we've tried to find people that are not afraid to defend their ideas passionately, and occasionally strongly disagree with people that they're working with, and have the best idea come out on top. It's not an easy balance, again, to refer back to the primate brain.